The latest on the Blade Runner, Oscar Pistorius, due to go on trial in just a few weeks for the Valentine's Day shooting death of his girlfriend. He may be close to a civil settlement with her family. ABC's Amy Robach, I know you've been following this much more on this.
That's right. And when Pistorius goes to trial in early March, he will face a minimum of 25 years in prison if he's convicted of premeditated murder. Ahead of the trial, his attorneys are doing their best to settle any civil claims by the victim's family. This morning, former track star Oscar Pistorius, charged with killing his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, is reportedly negotiating with her parents, hoping to reach a deal and avert a potential civil lawsuit before the end of his criminal trial. It's been almost a year since model Steenkamp was gunned down by Pistorius at his home on Valentine's Day. The Paralympian claiming it was a tragic mistake. Prosecutors say it was premeditated. Barry Bateman covers the trial for South Africa's Eyewitness News and is writing a book about the case.
What the state is now going to do, they want to show that he's a violent person, he's a gun-toting hothead, is the way, the portrait that they're going to paint of this man.
According to reports in South Africa, if a settlement is reached, Pistorius could reportedly end up paying Steenkamp's parents $185,000 to $275,000. Last year, the Steenkamps appeared on South African channel Mnet, describing the moment they got the news about their daughter.
He said there's been an accident and she's been shot. And I said, all I want to know now, if she's alive or she's dead. And he said, I'm sorry to have to tell you she's dead.
Pistorius' spokesperson telling ABC News that the dialogue with the Steenkamp family is a private matter. Now, the man known as the Blade Runner, seen here training over the summer, is gearing up for the fight of his life.
The big and only focus for him still at this stage is the trial and the court proceedings that's lying ahead.
Pistorius has argued that he fired at Steenkamp through a bathroom door thinking she was an intruder. Last year on 2020, IWOC defense attorney Joey Jackson threw a replica of the crime scene, asking him how Pistorius' defense team could argue he grabbed his gun from the side of the bed without noticing Riva was no longer there.
We're talking about the dark of night. His attention, rightfully, is focused on what could be an intruder and the end of his life as well as her life.
And Pistorius has a top-notch defense team that has hired a team of U.S. forensic experts to try and help clear his name. Robin?
Okay, Amy, for more on this, we're going to bring on our Chief News Legal Affairs anchor, Dan Abrams. And knowing that the civil suit is possibly being settled before the trial, that's unusual, isn't it?
It is unusual, and it would be a huge win for Pistorius if he can put aside the civil case. Remember, there are two tracks here. There's criminal, that is the state going after him. Civil is a personal battle, which is the family members versus Pistorius. If he can end that, particularly for something like $200,000, that's a huge win for him. The question would be, why would her family want to cut that deal now?
Why do you think that?
Well, look, it could be financial.
Yeah.
It could simply be that they don't want to wait years. They don't want to wait a long time to resolve this. They'd like to just put this behind them and take the money and move on with their lives.
Can the civil suit have any kind of impact on the other trial?
Well, look, it certainly could. And if they waited, it could have a bigger one, meaning that if there was a conviction in the criminal case, that would become very valuable in connection with the civil case and could mean a much bigger payout. In terms of this particular settlement, no. If they settle out of court and they say, all right, you're not going to sue us, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars for that, that won't come up in connection with the criminal case. That's another reason that Pistorius would love to settle this now.
And there's not a jury, it's just the judge.
That's right. It'll be just the judge in the criminal case, potentially with two what are basically legal advisors there to work with her. But she's going to be the one to determine it. And that's really important in thinking about the strategy, because you no longer, as we would here, have this sort of emotional play that you can make to a jury, because you are appealing to a jurist, a professional judge.
It is a different system over there.
Absolutely. They abolished the jury system.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Dan.